How are you?
Oh, I'm so good. How about you?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's been a good day so far.
I think so.
I mean, getting
After
here
I
with...
wiped off my windshield with my freaking sleeve.
Getting here was bad. Oh, this Chicago. Fuck it.
You know, when I was in Iowa City, I was like, God, don't they know how to plow? Have they not ever met salt in their life? And then you come here and it's like...
Salt galore.
I mean, chill.
I know.
Chill.
I know.
A little bit.
Our dark cars are like pure white.
Whatever. We made it. Just a little pullover toll booth bullshit, but here we are.
Here we are. Absolutely. So glad to be here, though.
You're going to give me your one of your recent WTFs?
I have a couple, but
I've gotten into this bad habit of toasting people and then talking and not drinking my drink after. So just a second, please.
Sure. I don't have that problem, so... Well, I mean, we can start off by, I accidentally brushed my teeth with a triple antibiotic ointment.
Oh.
That looked like
better than Desitin? Let me see them. Are they all like shiny?
I'm afraid to
Any more grocery carts in your yard?
No.
Okay.
No. So there was that, but that's almost just like my everyday.
That's gross.
Well, I didn't mean to. It's in the same type of tube. It looks exactly like a travel toothpaste thing. And every time I buy like a travel, I just throw them in my...
Then use a large toothpaste, maybe. One that says Colgate really big on it,
huh? No, this one says Walgreens. Triple antibiotic
See, this is like
ointment.
what we were telling Jim. Like, things that other people... Like, this is a pretty boring WTF. You put ointment in your mouth. Who cares?
Okay, so...
Like, the fact that I had to wipe off the salt off my window in a toll booth while we were blind with my sleeve, and you...
At the crash site center on the side of the highway?
Yeah,
no,
I mean...
Okay.
Those are ordinary things in our day.
That one's stupid.
Give me a better one.
Okay, another one, would it be when... how about when I brought my son to the orthopedic hand doctor? It's kind of stupid, but I don't know. I guess my personality is funny, just though, like... But it is a what the fuck. It is, because I could not understand. So my son fractured his wrist a few weeks ago. And so I had to bring him to the orthopedic hand doctor to get a cast. Mm-hmm. So she's asking me in the room a whole bunch of family medical history questions.
Boring.
And then all of a sudden she's like, so Mom, are you alive? And I was like,
I think so.
And then she goes, and then she goes,
I don't know.
And is Dad alive too? You know, asking family history about my son. But totally seriously, like, I can't even describe the situation. She goes,
knock,
so are
knock,
you alive?
Are you living? Do you have a pulse right now?
I'm like, I looked at it, but it was so absurd to me. So I was just like, yes, I'm alive. And, you know, yes, his dad is alive too. And then I was like, all of a sudden, I just like busted ass laughing. Now, this chick had zero personality. And she was just like, why are you laughing? What's so funny? And I was like...
Well, you asked a living person if they were alive or not.
I'm sitting right in front of you with my son, and you're like, are you alive? And then you checked yes after I said yes. So anyway, I just started...
Was she acting like you were the dumb one and not her?
No, because I could tell that after she said, like I'm sure the question said... Is Mom alive?
She just wasn't paying
Is Dad alive?
One shit of attention.
She probably has asked. She's just going through the motions.
She doesn't.
But she's like, Mom, are you alive? And I'm like...
Yeah, duh. I'm talking to you,
I'm
bitch.
Like, yes. So after it registered with me that she just asked me if I was alive, I lost it. This goes into the
like
embarrassing my
laughing?
kids. I was like in church... when you're not supposed to laugh as a kid.
Right.
I was literally crying, laughing. And she was like, what? Like, she could not understand what was so funny. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I just can't get past the fact that you just asked me if I was alive and then you checked the yes
And she
box.
didn't laugh.
Nope. Never laughed.
I don't think I like her very much.
I hated her.
Yeah, I don't like her.
But I was laughing so hard, and my son was looking at me, and he's like, it's not that funny. Oh, you can stop laughing now. I'm like, no, this is the funniest thing that has happened all day.
Mom, can you stop laughing and stop embarrassing me?
He just asked me if I was alive, and then asked if the dad was alive. I'm like, I get that you can ask that the dad is alive because the dad is not. My husband is not here.
But I'm sitting here breathing on you. Here. And I am actually alive, dumbass.
Oh my God. She could have been like, Okay, like, she could have just checked it without even... And then, is Dad alive? Has anybody else, like, randomly died of heart failure?
You know what? The healthcare people have a right to be losing it. That's fine.
I know, and I'm giving her that, but it was just so funny. It was one of those things where you had to be there. Are you alive? Anyway,
Don't make me spit this out.
That was a what the fuck.
I don't like
why are you
when you text me because you make me shoot boogers. And I don't generally like to walk around with that sort of situation on my face.
Oh my god. So what is yours?
I'm going to let you choose. Do you want...
Well, you didn't say your...
I'm going to let you choose the WTF that you want. You don't want all of them.
Oh, okay.
Do you want the family dinner disaster, the inappropriate Instacart? I mean, I have a lot that I can't actually share. The Zoom problem or the fart spray?
Oh, I know the fart spray.
It's like a vending machine. Pick your chaos, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Which one do you want?
What's the Instacart one?
Oh, well, I mean, it's just more what the stupid. But the teenagers are constantly ordering shit. Mm-hmm. Because it's my fault. I gave them like Apple Pay on their phone and.
Oh, is this the one that you said about like the little quantities of?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I let them order Instacart, but I mean, I generally have a say in it. Mm-hmm. Like, could you just get my permission before you spend my money? Like,
right.
Okay, you want whatever shit chips, fine. Then also order these 5 things. Like, make it worthwhile. Don't be an asshole.
Right, because of the shipping and delivery fee and everything else.
One night, and the weather's been absolute complete shit for 3 weeks, but so I understand, nobody wants to go to the store, but it's late in the evening, and I'm like, what is being dropped off now? 1 Monster drink. 1 single can of liquid. No. I am sorry, but even if I'm ordering Starbucks, I'm going to order at least 3. 1. I'm
at least order Monsters for everybody in the family.
Oh my God. MK ordered 1 Monster.
No.
I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
No.
What?
And there's not a minimum order for Instacart?
She just paid a giant amount for it. And I'm like, well, enjoy folding some fucking laundry. God. So it's not
I think you need to put the kibosh on the Instacart with the kids
I'm just going to take their phones and take all the money off. Screw them. Do some chores, asses.
Yeah.
So I'll share this all for when we do. We should do a whole other episode where like we just take turns with the what the fuck.
Oh yeah,
because mine are graphic and disgusting.
Oh, and we always have a list.
I love the growing list. It's good.
Well, and I like when we ask to have like other people to add their
I know,
like listeners.
I know,
add
like when the bodysuit that was hanging out the one.
Yes.
Okay, so I should have gone first so you could segue into the embarrassing episode.
That's okay.
But that's what we're actually talking about today.
Well, I mean...
embarrassment in general. Mm-hmm. Us being embarrassed and us embarrassing our children. Mm-hmm. Including the MILF DILF thing.
Okay. That's all embarrassing. And
it's all embarrassing. It's embarrassing to be called a MILF. It's embarrassing to hear your child say that they even know MILF.
And it's embarrassing for whoever invented DILF.
I don't know who made that up. It didn't come from a movie like the other one.
Oh, yeah, no.
I think it's just an equality thing, right? If there can be MILFs, why can't there be DILFs for the girls to... Ugh.
That is disgusting.
What a DILF. I mean, it's meant to be a compliment. It is absolutely meant to be a compliment. If you don't ever get called a MILF while you are a mother of teenagers, then you are frumpy and need to go on that show that used to exist where they did the makeover.
Okay.
Remember with the gay guy and the brunette? It was a major hit. What was that one?
I don't know.
Extreme
on
TLC.
Makeover?
No, you don't know anything. You didn't know what I said to you about Galentine's Day either. God, where do you live?
I know what Galentine's Day is.
When I said it to you, you were like, I've never heard of that.
I
now you know.
I know the term. I don't know what you do for it.
Nothing.
But,
you don't do shit.
Embarrassing things is, I mean, we can start by just the fact.
But yes, go ahead. As long as you know that it is a compliment to be called a MILF. You want to, you don't want to, but you want to. Because it is a compliment. It means that you haven't totally lost it.
That's fine. I just wish that it didn't stand for what it stands for, because it's kind of gross.
Do you think it still means that?
I don't know.
Nobody really thinks. I mean, in the movie, he really did fuck her, though, right?
Yes. We're
Well, it
talking
doesn't
about
mean
American
that
Pie,
anymore,
right?
In American Pie, yes. It doesn't actually mean that anymore. It just means that you haven't lost it, I think.
Right. Okay. Well,
Because none of them really think they're going to have sex with any moms. Ew.
I can't.
No.
Even, yeah. The whole topic, especially with having teenagers and teenage boys, and it's weird and gives me the bleh. Yeah.
But they talk like that. That's why we brought it up, because that one night you looked really nice to go somewhere. And one of Chase's friends commented that you looked nice. Didn't even say MILF.
No.
Was just like, oh, your mom.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, because they're used to seeing me drive them and pick them up from
that's modest of you. Or
know,
maybe they only have frumpy people in their lives and they're like, look at Mrs. Briggs.
Well, I mean, for once, we decided to go to dinner, even like when restaurants started opening up a little bit. My husband was like, do you want to go out to dinner? And our friends invited us or whatever. So we actually got dressed up.
And looked nice.
I put makeup on. We went
See?
out. I did my hair. Mm-hmm. And I went down to the basement to say goodbye to the kids. And there were some other friends over. And I think they were like... I think they were just like not used to seeing me out of sweat in my hair in a weird top knot.
It's still a compliment.
No makeup. Like that's what I look like 99% of the time.
Well, right.
But
it's still a compliment.
Yes.
And now there's the DILF, which I just heard of the other day and I never knew existed.
So maybe if my daughter's friends are over there, and what are they going to do? My husband was dressed up to go to dinner, and your dad's a DILF. That is the weirdest thing. I don't even.
They're weird. It's just their way of saying like your parent is not hideous.
Right.
Your parents aren't ogres. Congratulations.
Yeah. Exactly.
I hope that they have sex with each other. And next, carry on.
Okay.
Now that I've embarrassed you, go ahead.
Right into the embarrassing thing. Well, we have always been embarrassed by our parents, especially as teenagers, right? Like,
but that's because my mom actually wasn't cool, though, and I am.
Well,
that's
even
the way the
cool,
logic
there's
progresses
things
through the
that
generations.
can be said. Like, I have friends whose parents who, from my perspective, I thought were super cool parents, like way cooler than my parents. Like they weren't allowed to have a curfew. Or they weren't expected to have a curfew. They were allowed to stay out as late as they wanted. I always had a curfew. I always had, rules.
So cool did not necessarily mean your aesthetic. Cool could have meant that you were lax with rules.
Well, both.
Like you were chill.
Both.
Okay.
Both. So, I mean, I had some friends' parents who were, like, always decked out, who had, like, super cool jobs, had to get dressed up, like took the train to the city.
Cool people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, took the train to the city to work, drove a Firebird, you know what I mean? Like, we had a minivan, you know what I mean? Like,
interesting.
There were other parents that I thought were super cool, and I was always like, one mom would be like, sure, you girls go have fun, enjoy, you come home safe. Never like, you need to be home at 11 o'clock, and so there was always those other parents that I thought were cool versus mine. And then, like if my friends were over and my mom was like in her robe, like, you better be home at 10 o'clock or you're grounded for a month, and I would be like, oh my God,
that's
so
me.
Embarrassing. I think that we can embarrass either way. Like, even if you...
Well, what did the cool ones do that was embarrassing? Nothing.
No, not to the friend, but to the actual child of the cool parent.
Yeah.
They would be embarrassed by maybe not having rules.
Okay, so like, every teen is embarrassed by something.
Yes.
It's just a coming of age to be embarrassed by something your parents do.
I always thought growing up, though, that my family in particular, like our level of situations that were embarrassing were just off the charts compared to anybody else. And maybe that was just my perspective as a teenager. But Dotson...
Well, you're doing it again. You're doing it.
I am?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Punching chase on.
Well, no, that's a thing, but no, that's one thing that I'm going to tell you an embarrassing thing that happened to me when I was a teenager and I was 16 and I could have died. Okay, because I thought my family was like so embarrassing, like the Griswolds, right? So, for example,
that is a stretch. Like the Griswolds.
Okay, let me tell you, Dodson, tell me this level of, if this is a level of embarrassing for you as a 16-year-old teenager. So my mother's job, they were having a summer barbecue. They invited like their workers and their families to this house for a summer barbecue. And so we all load in the family truckster. And, you know, there's 4 of us and my parents. Mm-hmm. And we drive out to whatever suburb, I don't remember. But I'm 16. I don't want to go anyway, you know? And my mom was like, you're going. And it was, you know, mandatory. So me and all my younger sisters load up in the van. We go. We get to the party and we get in. Now, my dad is very, very, very social guy, right? Mm-hmm. So we walk into this person's house and my dad sits down and he's, the Cubs game is on. My dad's putting his arm around the guy. Oh, yeah, the Cubs are doing great this year, whatever. Well, me and my sisters were standing around the island in the kitchen, like eating chip and dip or whatever they had out. And my mom is walking around. She's like, has anyone seen Carol? Whatever. And oh, yeah, Carol's right over there. So my mom's like, okay. And so, like, they had an in-ground pool. I mean, we were...
In Illinois?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah. In-ground pool in the backyard. And I'm like, well, Mom, it really sucks that you didn't tell us to bring our bathing suits. You know, my mom's like, has anyone seen Carol? We were there.
Wrong house.
Like 30 minutes. And this guy goes, he comes up to us and my dad and goes, well, I'm sorry, but I don't mean to be rude, but who the hell are you people? I had a plate full of their food in their kitchen. And
were they ready for a party?
They were having a party. Yeah, they were having a party. And my parents were like, oh, well, my dad's like, well, I'm Doug and my mom, you know, and I work for, you know, and they're like,
no.
We're having, like, the party that we're having is for our 3-year-old granddaughter.
Not unlike you getting into Christian's friend's mom's car, like, hi, I'm ready to go, and it's not your Uber, it's a mom.
Right.
Okay, yeah, it runs in the family.
That was for a later thing.
I can't wait till one of your teens do the same thing.
So I was standing there, and my mom's like, pick up your stuff and get the casserole out of the fridge. We're at the wrong house.
Of course, you have to carry the casserole.
And I was like, what? And
I knew I should have come to this.
Everybody in the house was like watching us
leave,
like hang our heads in shame and grab the casserole.
Dad,
and
can you get those dumbasses to leave? Why are they here?
And my other sister's like, hold on, this French onion dip is really good. So my mom is like, Carol so-and-so's house is where we're going. Oh, Carol, yeah, she just lives 4 houses down.
No problem.
This is before GPS. This is before whatever.
Right.
But yes, I guess my parents just pulled in to the house on the street
that looked like
that
theirs.
had a party, like a lot of cars.
Sure.
And, you know.
Must be here.
And there we were.
Oops.
Just making ourselves at home. And I have never, as a teenager, I was so embarrassed. I'm like, thank God I don't know anybody here.
Well, right, exactly.
But my mom, like, so now we have this story where
she had to play it cool.
We're that family that just, so now we have to go to the actual person's house.
Well, yeah.
Who doesn't have a pool.
Right.
No dip.
You're like, can we go back to the
I want to go back to the 3-year-old's party. But
good job, Briggs.
Talk about embarrassing. I mean, we've had things happen where we buy our Christmas tree, it falls off on a busy road. My dad pulls over, has to put it back
up.
You
are a little bit Griswold.
That's
great.
Right.
Yeah, it's great. Just so you don't have that weird uncle. Eddie? Is that his name?
No.
The crazy guy?
Well, that's a cousin. Eddie, but...
Cousin.
Yeah. That was one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have you had anything like that? Go to the wrong house, party? With your family?
I've done that on my own. But I don't think it's that embarrassing. I just think that's part of what I do.
How about this? Can I give you one more about
Yeah.
my embarrassing family upbringing?
Please.
How about the time, again, I was 16. So, I mean, I have a bunch of
you hated
16-year-olds.
being 16.
Well, and I have 16-year-olds right now, so I try to remember, like, and I try to tell them things.
How horrified you were so that you can't do it to them.
I try, but
Right.
they still get embarrassed of me.
Well,
But when I was 16...
it doesn't matter what we do. They're going to be embarrassed. It's just the age. We couldn't be cool enough to do it unless we were Colin's dad. There's no way.
The things that my kids get embarrassed about, I'm like, do you want a real embarrassing story? Okay, well, we didn't go on vacation when I was a kid, right? Like our biggest vacation was Wisconsin Dells. That's where we went. We didn't go like on these fabulous vacations. Right. So we were going up to Wisconsin Dells. I was 16. We're again in the big giant family truckster. It breaks down on the side of the road. I don't know. I don't know the details behind this vacation. I would have to talk to my mom again, but for some reason, like we had no other car to rent, or we had no other way to get there. Like we had to call a tow truck. They brought us to some place, and they're, and then they're like, okay, well, this is the only car we can give your family to drive up to Wisconsin Dells for the weekend.
Oh, a loaner.
Right.
What was it? A bug?
I wish. Now, there were 6 of us, remember?
Yeah, I know. That's why the bug would be funny.
It would have been not as embarrassing as the unmarked police car with a cage separating my parents and the 4 of us in the back seat.
The 4 of you got to... Why did they have that?
That's all and it had like the old like sensor guns on the side of the thing.
Oh my God.
It was like one of those white Chevys.
Yeah, I remember them.
Like, and my dad was like, oh, this is great. It runs and it's great. We sat in the back seat with the cage.
You know what? Hey, if I was your dad, I would have been like, now this is what it will feel like if you get arrested. Okay?
No, my dad was like, should we pretend to like
take note,
like pull people over,
or that
all vacation,
strap that thing on top real fast, or like, okay,
we had to ride around that all weekend. And I was 16. I had a license at the time, so there were a couple times where I was like, can I drive? Me and my cousins, my sisters around Wisconsin Dells. My dad's like, well, go get the unmarked cop car and go have fun.
Have fun.
Oh my God. Honestly, my family was so embarrassing.
So it gives you good grace when your kids say that you're so embarrassing.
Anyway, yeah.
But you're not. You're a MILF, so that's super.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, welcome.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
They say it is.
Okay. Okay,
so I actually asked mine. Because I wanted to hear what their... I mean, I have in my mind what I think I've done that's embarrassing to them. Or for me as a mom. But I wanted to ask them. That's why I made you give this paper back to me. Okay, what did they say? Oh, okay. So the sweet baby, favorite child, says, you never embarrass me, Mommy. Like, of course. Like, just wait.
She's not a teenager
Just wait till you're a teenager. Because then, she's the youngest. By then, I will be old and not MILF-like. Mm-hmm. And I will embarrass you.
Oh, I'm sure you won't be.
By default, I'll embarrass you. Okay. Frankie said, when I wore my robe to pick her up at school. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, yeah, no doubt. Mm-hmm.
Did you get out of the car?
Well, I don't
it's right across the street.
I walk, anyway.
Oh, so you walked to the school in your robe?
I sure did.
Okay. Well, that's embarrassing.
Yeah. And then she added, when I dance and play my weird music.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is true.
Right.
When I did a TikTok last weekend, and they all wanted to die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't invent TikTok, though.
Right.
I mean, I can't use that to exploit you.
Well, and I think I think kids in general are embarrassed. Like, my kids get embarrassed if I post something on Instagram. Like,
well, right. Plus, the dancing thing, though, like, moms are not allowed to dance.
No.
And you know what? No. I gotta give them that one. Because even though I think that I look cute as hell on my TikToks, when my mom would dance, I was like, oh my God. Literally shoot me, please.
Mm-hmm. Because that's how they feel.
Fuck is that?
And she probably thought she looked cute, too.
Ugh. But she still does it. And I'm still like, no. Stop. I'm old now, too. And I don't think that you look good when you dance. Please don't do that. Please. Stop it.
Oh, God.
It's like the tight lip and the... I got it going on. Stop.
Yeah.
At least I don't do that shit. Oh my God, no. There is, yes, moms embarrass teens in general, and then there's like, oh, lady, no. No. It doesn't matter how much time has passed. I'm not a teen anymore.
I was going to say, you're too old to be embarrassed by that now.
It's so bad when she does it. Okay.
Oh my God.
It's still bad.
Yeah.
If somebody saw that and they were like, oh, look at Dodson's mom, I would be like, yes, that's not my mother.
Well, hey,
That's
at least she's having fun.
Oh, good for her.
Well,
that's what you said when I sent you the video,
I know.
you nerd.
Well,
at least she's having fun. Take your Hallmark over there.
Well, because at this point, like, who cares?
I do. Stop it. Nobody wants to see that damn dance move. And then Rose had nothing to say because she's literally the nicest person in my entire life. And she would never, ever say anything ill about me. And MK said, I don't know, go away. I'm not going to tell you anything because you'll just use it on your podcast. So
there it is. There you go. Well, at least she was right about that.
She's right. I am interviewing you for the podcast.
Yeah, so I asked my kids what was embarrassing. I didn't get any.
Did they cite dancing? Here. Is yours even on here?
No.
Oh, yours aren't on here at all.
Yeah. No, it's okay. But, you know, my youngest, just like you already said, and I've mentioned it before, my youngest, Christian, was completely mortified when I got into the backseat of his mom's, his friend's mom's car, thinking it was my Uber.
I would have been mortified too. Hello, Briggs.
He was like telling his friend,
I'm going to the concert. She's like, bitch, get out of my car.
She's like, I'm sorry, I'm so-and-so's mom. I'm like, and the boys were standing in my driveway like, oh my God.
Why did your mom just get into my mom's car?
Yeah, because I had never met the mom before. And I was like, oh, you must be my Uber.
I walked into one before that wasn't even an Uber. I was just out somewhere in the old world at a bar. It was time to go. And we were all standing there in the cold, and a Jeep pulls up, and this was before they verified, right? Now they'll be like, oh.
Yeah, are you,
Jennifer.
Yeah, right.
So I'm like, here it is, and I just opened the door, and the guy, it was full of dudes. And the one guy in the back is like, whoa, what are you doing? I'm like, get out. It's our Uber.
Yeah.
Let's go. It's cold out here. Get out so we can get in. He's like, no, we're not your Uber. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay.
Well, at least you didn't embarrass your kids. Like,
true.
You know.
Only myself. And I don't care if I embarrass myself.
No.
I know that I embarrass myself.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Well, okay, so speaking of embarrassing your kids by dancing. Okay, so this is what leads me to Chase.
This also made me spit, and yes.
My sister.
Because I can just see you living your best grooving life.
Oh, man. And this is, okay, my sister was getting married.
No, I know how you were breaking it down.
And her reception, and I was like...
Was it Dana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Chase, come dance with me out on the dance floor. And, it was Heather, I think. I think it was Heather.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heather's wedding. And Chase is like, I don't want to go on the dance floor with you.
So how old was he then? 11? No.
Probably 12.
Okay.
No. It had to have been Dana's wedding. I don't even know whose wedding
but
it was. It was one of my sisters.
He's at the age of being like, no.
He was like, I don't want to dance with you.
Right.
And I'm like, come on. And I like grabbed his arm and I brought him on the dance floor and he's just like standing there. And but, then they started playing like a good dance song. And so he was kind of dancing with me. Mm-hmm. And that's what I love about having boys, right? Is because then they go out
they're going to take care of mom a little bit. Yeah.
So I go out there and they started playing some song. I don't even remember what song, but I was like, yes! And I, of course, had a few drinks.
Right.
And I was busting out. And I was doing some, like,
did he quit?
Arm flailing, and, like, I don't even know what I was doing. And then all of a sudden, like, I turned and I did some spin, and I just punched him in the face as hard as I could. He was like, he was going like this on the dance floor, bloody nose all over. And I was
God.
like, oh my God. And he's like, you broke my nose.
Oh, you're such
I had to like lead him off the dance floor, get him some, everyone's like bringing napkins.
I'm like, shit,
damn.
I wanted to finish that song. There you go.
So to this day, he'll be like, weddings we've been at, he's like, I'm not dancing with you. He's like, remember when you broke my nose on the dance floor? He's like, you get out of control.
I mean, I wouldn't, I guess, if I was Chase. He has the fear now. Don't get too close to you. I want to see the moves,
and my other kids too, though. They're like, don't dance with mom at weddings. She will bust your face open by accident.
I went to a wedding recently where I had so much fun on the dance floor. None of my kids were there with me. It was awesome. I just went with my friend as a +1, and I thought it was fabulous.
Yeah.
None of them there to be like, so mom?
Yeah.
Maybe don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't do what? Dance. Or talk.
Right.
Okay.
Or be here.
Or exist. Maybe stop existing because you're so embarrassing.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, the one about my car radio glitching. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is Olivia's. I forgot about that one.
Is this the Amish Paradise?
So, yes. So yeah. This was I don't know that song. One.
Is it meant to be Gangster's Paradise, but it's Amish?
So my kids.
That's terrible. That's terrible. Why were you listening to that?
I wasn't. Let me tell you the story. So I was driving all my kids. So it was a nice spring day. I was going to the high school, the junior high, and the elementary, just dropping them all off at school. And this is my old car. Well, they all have those computer systems and the radio and the windows and everything. And if it glitches, like sometimes it freezes up, right? And so
better not be listening to something embarrassing.
So I was driving, and I am in the carpool line at the high school.
At North. And that one...
Where my windows were down.
Well, and you can't escape that one.
No.
When you're there, you are
stopped.
There. Mm-hmm.
So all my windows were down because it was a beautiful, nice, warm, sunny day. Mm-hmm. And I was just sitting in the carpool line waiting to inch up to like drop her off, but all my boys were in the back seat too. So I'm going through the radio stations, just like what good is on, like what can we listen to?
This is your fault for not just having like Spotify or something normal going.
Right. No, I was.
You were making yourself vulnerable with.
I was listening to XM radio. So I was going through the stations, and so I'm going through whatever, and I hit the 80s on 8, right? And then I'm like, oh, it's Amish Paradise from Weird Al Yankovic. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going.
Right.
Well, and
no, you're
the
not.
Song that I was listening to before, I had it just turned all the way up because I can't even remember what it was. But so I'm like, now that song's over. I'm gonna switch, right? And I get to 80s on 8. It's playing Weird Al Yankovic. So loud, my windows are down. I'm like, ooh, I don't want to listen to that. And I just kept going. Well, it froze on 80s on 8, and my windows, I couldn't turn it down. I couldn't roll my windows up, and I couldn't change the station. So I have my 4 kids in the car blaring Amish Paradise from Weird Al Yankovic, and I couldn't do anything about it. And
did you get out in time, or did it go to the next song?
I don't remember. It was like we had to sit there in the carpool line.
Were you like, yeah, it's cool? Or
no, because the high schoolers are like walking.
No, I know
how you're stopped in the front.
Yes,
and so they have to stop around your car and walk around the car, and there's teachers outside welcoming the kids, and I'm like,
and you hope that you look like a cool person, but no.
Yeah, and my kids were like, turn it off, and I'm like, I
would have just turned off my car and turn it back on.
I don't know why I didn't do that.
You should have. I was That's like, horrible.
Oh my God, it's stuck on Amish Paradise. I can't do anything about it. My kids are like, what the hell song is this?
No, I would have turned off my car. No, I don't like Weird Al at all.
Oh, I do.
You do?
Well, sometimes if you're
spoofy. No.
It's kind of funny. He's kind of funny, but not with your could you imagine? My teenagers were like,
no, that's horrible. Well, hey, at least you were in charge of the music. I don't get to play shit. They totally take it over. I'm like, I give up.
I know, but this just happened to be one of those things where I was
now I have that stupid song in my head. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna listen to it on the way home.
Ugh. No, you're not. I'm driving today. You the hell?
Oh, that's right.
The hell you are. No, you are not. And you better hope I don't have to wipe all the salt off the window again on the way home.
I know.
So,
oh my God.
maybe it's 3 degrees warmer out now.
Yeah, well, that will make a difference.
You have any more? Or do you want to give me your win?
I don't even know.
Let me see this. See if I can do it without my readers. Oh, you told me all of yours. Because we already know that you ate Chase's actual shit.
Oh, yeah.
So
well,
that's
we don't
not
even need
new.
to talk about that again.
If anybody wants to hear that story, they'll have to go back to the previous episode called Corey Eats Shit.
Or the shit show.
The shit show.
But that's an old episode
It's
where
old.
we have
Before we had proper studio.
Yeah.
But it's still funny because you ate
still a
shit.
good one, right?
Yeah,
I
you
sure
ate
did.
shit. That's okay.
How about the fact that I sent you all of my embarrassing topics on an email and I sent it to the wrong Jennifer?
That's not that funny.
Well, it is. It
But
was, it was an assistant principal of our school.
Which Jennifer?
Not our school, my elementary school.
No, I want to ask you, do yours get... Okay, so you and I don't ever act as Karens. I mean, it's so rare if I get upset publicly like that. And when I do get upset, it's because someone has been like a totally rich and true asshole.
Right.
Okay. But have you found that no matter what, even if it's justified, that they are horrified if you speak up in public?
Oh, God, yes.
Because even if I'm defending them, they're like, just don't say anything. And I'm like...
My kids will be embarrassed if a solicitor comes to my front door, even though I have a sign that says no soliciting, and I tell them no thank you.
Right. So that is a thing. For some reason, they want their mothering role model to be like forever gracious and forgiving.
Right.
No
I'm like,
matter
I don't
what.
want to be a Jehovah's Witness now. I just, like, no.
No, because even if someone acts like a fucker, though, and I still don't get that. I don't mean, it's not the life I live where I actually care that much or get rude about it. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't matter. Like, the other day, this woman was a total dick at the grocery store. And I just, like, I didn't say anything directly to her, but I just made some, like, remark to myself. And MK is like, oh my God, don't say anything. Don't embarrass me. And I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
I mean, I get it because my mom would speak up all the time.
So did mine.
An OG Karen. To where I was like, can't we just accept the salad the way it was?
I know. Yep.
But they are horrified if we ever take a stand. Like, it's so weird.
I know.
Why?
Yep.
Even
My
if I'm
daughter
defending
gets
them.
really, I think it's more popular in girls to feel that way. My boys don't really care. But my daughter, but Olivia
like, do they
would
just
be
want to
like,
handle their own battles forever?
I don't know. They
Or
just
they don't want us to have, like,
to
a
make
pulse
a scene.
or an opinion. Why? I don't understand that.
Yeah. Well, I used to hate when my mom did that, so I can relate.
Well, I did too, but that's because it was about, like, whether the ranch dressing was, like, thick or watery.
I know.
Where I'm like,
I know.
And mine's not stupid.
Yeah.
I know it's not.
Well, your kids might think it is.
I know. They obviously do. Mom, just don't say anything, okay?
Yeah.
But even, my thing is, it's even if I'm defending them, they're still like, can you just not say anything? I'm like, so you'd really rather I not exist publicly. Yeah. I see.
Right.
Okay, I understand.
Well, and that's just the way it is.
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, we can toast to that unless you have a win.
I mean, I think that our win today is
that we're MILFs. No.
Well, and that we arrived here today alive in that horrific drive here on the salty roads where you had no windshield washer fluid. We had to pull over so that you could find whatever you had in the back of your car, pour your literally water bottle. We have pictures. And wipe it off on the side of the highway.
That is a win to make it given those circumstances.
Got here.
Sorry I had to granny drive.
I would appreciate
That's
the granny drive
your
versus
fault
anything else.
for always calling me a grandma driver, and I owned that today. So
well, you were literally like up against the
I can't
windshield.
See.
Yeah. So that's a win.
Cheers to living and surviving.
You know what, too? Sometimes it's a win if you have embarrassed your kids because you're doing your job. Not in the way of, like, being a Karen and complaining and stuff like that, but listen.
No, but you're being a mom and not a bestie.
And exactly. And sometimes they need to see that you are a human with feelings and things that you enjoy doing. So, like, I love dancing at weddings. Like, I will just let it all out at weddings.
I will always dance. I don't care.
Like, get low. You better believe that I am on the floor. Right?
Well, you and I both do the sort of workout where we can still get low, okay?
I will be in my
factor.
Heels and I'll be on,
still low.
And
I back up.
And my kids are like at the table like,
no, I do all that shit too. I don't care.
But
you know what? Fun as hell.
And the win is
that we don't give a shit.
Exactly. Because hey, I could
Can't
be
we
like
have fun too?
I could be like sitting in the corner with my thumb up my nose. I mean,
no.
One day they'll be like, my mom was having fun.
That's maybe. I don't know. I don't like it when my mom has fun and breaks loose. It's really bad.
Well, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you're not a teenager anymore. You can't be embarrassed about it.
No, I see. This is where it crosses the line from like teenage embarrassment and like what you actually look really cringy. There's a line. And when it's my turn, I'll not give a shit and I'll look cringy, and that's the way it goes.
And then when your daughters are in their mid-40s,
I'll make fun of their asses.
No, but they're still going to be embarrassed by you.
Fine.
Perfect.
May it last forever.
Exactly.
Bye, Briggs.
Cheers. Bye.